Many of you have joined. We can start. Can someone please confirm if my screen is visible?
Yes.
Okay, great. So, connect part I'll be covering, not today. It's very simple. Networking, definitely once we are done with our network session, we can start with disk today. So the storage part is not covered, but still we are going to cover this part today. Logs we have already covered. Properties, it's very simple. We don't have anything to cover here. It is just showing whatever you see in overview. It shows you the same thing. Subscription ID, resource group, etc. Right? Everything it will show here. Advisor recommendation we'll see later. Configuration you're going to see later. Operating system, we all know what is an operating system. How do we use that? What are the operating systems which are available? Extension, if we are going to learn later. So as of now, we are focusing on this. So next time now, whenever I give you some homework or task, I'll be very specific about disk as well. That attach these many disks or remove the disk, do this. So we are going to do some practicals, which will be around disk of virtual machine. Okay. So last time, as I was telling you guys that where is a virtual machine or what is a virtual machine actually? When I say a virtual machine, it's a virtual thing, not because it's a virtual machine, but it's a virtual thing. Where is it exactly lying? But where is it resource? What is that resource? It is in the disk. Okay? The disk, which has the operating system, that is the disk. This is your virtual machine. अगर इस disk को ही उड़ा दूं मैं, there is no virtual machine, right? This is your virtual machine. So that is called your operating system disk. Then apart from that, we have data disk. What are data disks, guys? Data disks are where you will save your data, where you can save your application data. And that is your data disk. I showed you my PC last time. I'll show it again. Here it is. This is the C drive, which is my operating system disk. This is something different disk. This is a data disk. This is a data disk. It's a data disk. It's a network drive, but still it is a data disk, right? अगर ये इससे disconnect होता है, I'll still be able to turn on my computer. If this gets disconnected or corrupted, I can still turn on my computer. If this gets disconnected or corrupted, I can still turn on my computer. I can utilize the computer. I can do whatever I want, right? Maybe data recover karna padega, that's a different thing. But if this drive or this disk, if it gets corrupted or it is not there, not available, will I be able to turn on my computer?
So the operating system is on the C drive, so
Right.
you won't be able.
Okay, so it will not work. By the way, don't get confused. You can have all the drives on one disk, but in a production environment, you will never see. Your C drive will be on a different disk. Your D drive will be on a different disk. Your E drive can be on a different disk. In my setup also, I have a different disk for C drive. It's a dedicated disk I have in my laptop. I have two disks in my laptop. One I have dedicated for ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम एंड वन डिस्क उसमें ये दो ड्राइव मैंने बना रखे हैं. इट इज एज गुड एज ये फोन का आपका इंटरनल मेमोरी है जिसमें आपका ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम भी है और कुछ पिक्चर्स वगैरह भी रख सकते हो आप. But if something happens, that's the best example I can give. You can add up to that if anyone has a better example. It's like your phone, guys, right? आपके फोन में एक इनबिल्ट मेमोरी होती है 128 GB, let's say. Those 128 GB, it will have your operating system as well. Whenever you go to storage and check, you will see operating system. It is optimizing or utilizing half of the memory, maybe 16 GB, 30 GB sometimes, depends on the operating system, Android or iOS, right? But along with that, few phones, obviously Apple doesn't have it. Android phones, they have a chip functionality, which is to which we called memory card. Right? These are your memory cards. So now tell me, if you have clicked some pictures and in your camera setting, the default location you have clicked to a memory card, right? And you clicked 500 pictures. All 500 pictures are saved in your memory card. And now suddenly something goes wrong with your operating system. you upgraded the operating system, you tried to jailbreak it, you tried to root Android it, you tried to do something, and your phone is not turning on. Can you recover your pictures or not?
Yeah, stored on the memory card.
Yes, there's in fact there is no recovery. Simply remove that memory card and put it in another phone. You have your pictures, right? You have your pictures. You don't have to worry about it. But if those pictures were saved on your phone memory, then it's a serious thing, because many of the time, most of the time, to troubleshoot these kind of issues, you'll have to refresh, or you'll have to delete the disk, or you'll have to reset the disk. And the moment you reset everything, the data will be gone. So in production environment, you will never ever see that any application data is saved here. This disk, operating system disk. Operating system disk will only have your OS data, nothing else. Nothing else, guys. Only OS data, right? So even if it is crashed, I can create a new disk. I can use all these disks, attach these disks to the new server, and my server up and running. My application is running. Why? Because I did not lose the data. Is it clear, guys, the difference between OS disk and data disk?
Yes.
Right? But the applications which you install, even on your phone or computer, on server as well. Let's say that I have a server, okay, and I install one IIS application on that server. This is the server I'm referring to. And luckily it is on. Let me RDP to this. Okay, this is the server I'm referring to. In this server, if I install a role or application, role application, same cheese. If I install a role IIS, so I can run a website on this. Or if I install a role DHCP, so I can make this as a DHCP server. Or I install a role DNS, so I can run a DNS server. All of these roles, where do you think these are being installed? On your C drive or data drive?
C drive.
Yes, by default C drive. Like your phone, do you get an option? Let's say even if you have 1 TB ka memory card assigned, do you get an option to install application on memory card?
No.
Right? So similarly, if you install any application, inbuilt application, the names which I have taken, those are inbuilt application. Let this get opened and I'll explain it to you. Okay, so these are called roles and features, which is also known as application. So if I install these inbuilt applications on a server, for example, DHCP, DNS, or I want to make this as a fax server, so I install fax. I want to make it as a Hyper-V. I want to make it as a any server, IIS server, whatever I want to create from this server, right? That role will be installed on C drive. This is one. And this is second, external application. I wanted to install Git. I wanted to install Google Chrome. I wanted to install Adobe Reader. All these applications. I wanted to install Teams. I have done that. But do you get an option to install all these on data drive?
No.
No, only
By
OS drive.
default, they will go to your operating system disk. तो इसको इतना भी likely नहीं लेना है कि यार ठीक है OS disk तो है, अगर खराब हो भी गया I will install a new OS और उस disk को लाके यहाँ लगा देता हूँ, और I will take these data disk and I will assign these disks to that op. इतना भी likely नहीं है, because when you install an application, when you configure that application, it takes a lot of configuration, बहुत सारा efforts लगते हैं उसमें, right? So ना data disk आपके लिए इतना basic चीज है, because इसमें आपका data है, that is very crucial. ना ही operating system basic चीज है जिसको आप lightly ले लोगे, because it has operating system, it has multiple applications, those applications have configuration. वो configuration के लिए आपने vendor को pay किया था. Now if you put another one, you'll have to call the vendor. उसमें time consume होगा, उसमें efforts consume हो गया, उसमें आपका funds भी consume होगा, right? So both disks are equally important. But this disk, it is not a break free. It's not a break fix. It's not a showstopper, right? इससे अगर ये भी हो जाए, so you will not won't stop working. Your computer, your application will start, it will keep running. But if something goes wrong with your OS disk, will it work?
No.
It won't work. ठीक है guys, clear है यहाँ तक? The disk वाला part, is it clear guys to everyone?
Yes.
Okay, now let's go
Yes.
ahead and start creating a virtual machine, and उसमें हम देखते हैं disk को और detail में. So I'll be deploying a virtual machine now. I'll use one of your resource group guys, and I'll delete it later. Okay, so this is the VM I'm creating. Region is fine. Now I'm talking about this. So availability options, let's keep it no infrastructure redundancy, right? This will always standard. Disk assignment and mount, demount, everything works in Windows and Ubuntu or Linux both. But it is very easy on Windows, so I'll be picking Windows. Unless someone has a specific requirement for Linux, we can have another session. And if someone is from Linux background, they will understand it. Okay, the size is not available in this region. I'm looking for East US2. Most of the time I have seen sizes are available in that region. Okay, this is available. But what I'm going to do, guys, let me scrap this, and I'll be creating one in my subscription, because I need a huge machine. So it will be easier for us to do some practicals on that. I don't want any redundancy. It's okay here. I am okay with 2022 or 2019. Anything is fine. I'm not sure why am I getting this error, but let's see. And I've told you guys, this one, quota is not an error. Whenever you get quota message or quota request, please read it thoroughly. You will understand that what are you exceeding at? That have you already used enough public IPs? Have you already used enough CPUs? Have you already enough used a data disk, or whatever you have already used? So try to ask someone who's using, try to ask him or her to delete that, and it will be easier for you. So quota is not an error. Do not ever raise it कि I'm getting quota error. Quota you simply have to read properly and you will figure it out कि किसने क्या use कर रखा है ज़्यादा.
And this quota error, do we get it on production?
Yes, why not? Yes, yes. Yes, you always see. इतना ज़्यादा नहीं, लेकिन production में भी एक quota होगा. If there is not, then what will they do? They will engineers, they will keep on creating anything, delete करते ही नहीं है. Then उसके बाद वो लोग ये बना दिया, हाँ ठीक है, let it be. ये कर दिया, let it be, बाद में delete करता है. And then it keeps on piling up, and then उसका bill आता है. So yes, quota वहां पर भी रखते हैं वो लोग.
So on production they will have hundreds of machine. काफी difficult हो जाएगा ना?
नहीं
It will
नहीं,
be
so
very difficult to figure out.
तो इतना छोटा quota नहीं रखेगा ना. If I know that my environment requires in total 200 virtual CPUs and 500 GB RAM, तो मैं कोटा उतना ही ज्यादा रखूंगा, but quota will be there ताकि पता चले that what is happening.
Okay.
And it's not necessary, जिसका ये है कि नहीं रखना है वो नहीं भी रखेगा. It's not a technically mandatory thing, but yes, you will normally see quota. Okay, so this is the section which we are discussing. Now this one, if I don't talk about this, anything, you can keep basic, right? As in all default option or all whatever we have been discussing. No infrastructure, standard, whichever OS you want. But in this case, don't take Linux. Go with Windows. It will be easier for you to log in and check. Okay. So this is the section which we are discussing thoroughly. So look at this, guys. OS disk size. Which is the size do you see as a by default size?
127 GB.
127 GB.
Right. बहुत बार आता है ये question, right? Many times. Can you change the size? Can I take a lesser size?
So,
Image default.
No, you cannot take a lesser size. Okay. So even if you're not using anything, you're minimum paying for 127 GB. But if you say that यार मेरा तो जो है ना operating system वो बहुत ही छोटा है, Kali Linux I use, and Kali Linux it's an operating system which will fit in 20 MBs. And why should I pay for 127 GB? Then there's a concept of managed disk and unmanaged disk, which we are going to do later. It's not completely impossible, but it's no one uses that really. एक छोटे से feature के लिए उसमें बहुत सारे compromises करने पड़ते हैं. So there is a concept of managed and unmanaged disk, right? We are going to see that later. But as of now, can I use a smaller size, smaller than 127?
No.
No, minimum is
Can I use
127.
bigger size?
Yes.
Yeah, you should.
Yes, it is there. 128, 256, 512, 1 TB, 2 TB. But I'm happy with this. This question was asked, guys. I'll share the company's name, etc. later. I mean, whenever we start our practice, the one of you who attended the interview, this question was asked that what are the types available in OS disk? So this is very important. Look at this. What are the types available? The types available are premium SSD, standard SSD, standard HDD. Okay, so what are these? Forget the LRS and ZRS concept. Don't focus on this. This will do after storage is done. So what is premium SSD? What is standard SSD? What is standard HDD? What are the difference in between among them?
SSD is a bit faster compared to HDD, and as they're providing premium SSD, so it is clearly mentioned best for production and performance sensitive workload.
Yes,
so it
this is
might
what you
be,
have to read in
a
your
bit
answer.
faster.
Yes, this is what you have to read. But before that, always give the full form. Anyone knows what is HDD?
Hard disk.
Hard disk drive.
And what is SDD?
Solid state drive.
Yes. So look at the picture, guys. This is hard disk. Very old concept. जहाँ पे ये header होता है. This is not clear for some reason, but I hope you are getting it, right? Let me see if I can open a clear image. Okay, I hope this is clear now. Is it clear, guys?
Yes.
So this is your hard disk. One thing, its size always bigger. SSD is smaller, and I have both of these in my laptop base. And I mean, it's nothing special. You get this nowadays in market, that your operating system will run on SSD and your data will be saved on here. Why? Because this is faster. SSD is always faster. So this is HDD and this is SDD, solid state drive. Okay, this is very fast. This doesn't have any header. This doesn't have any spinner. ये सब नहीं होता, एक अलग टेक्नोलॉजी है. and this runs very fast. Data इसमें काफी fast चलता है. So whenever you take standard HDD, इस तरह के डिस्क में आपका डेटा सेव होगा. जो सर्वर से सर्वर पे बहुत सारे हार्ड डिस्क है, उनमें से कुछ ऐसे हैं, कुछ ऐसे हैं. So whatever you select, इस तरह के इसमें आपका सेव होगा. If you take HDD, then इस तरह के ड्राइव पे आपका डेटा सेव होगा. Is it clear, guys? Still here?
Yes.
Okay. Now premium SSD and standard SSD. It's the premium one is always recommended for production and for performance sensitive workloads, right? Standard one, it's for web servers, likely used enterprise application and dev and test. HDD, it's best for backup, non-critical, infrequent access. ये चीज आप बोल दोगे ना, your answer is sorted and done. What does it mean? Best for backup. अब हम किसी चीज का बैकअप भी रखते हैं, right? Everything is backed up nowadays, everything. So let's say that I have some pictures, thousands of pictures, right? और मैं बार बार अपने फोन पे उसको आई एम एन इन्फ्लुएंसर, ठीक है, मैं वीडियोस बनाता हूँ, मैं अपलोड करता हूँ, मैं पिक्चर्स क्लिक करता हूँ, मैं अपलोड करता हूँ, फूड ब्लॉगर टाइप, एंड आई नीड अ गुड रेजोल्यूशन पिक्चर्स इन अ फास्ट solid drive on my laptop. So I click pictures from my phone, I transfer them and I upload them. उसमें editing वगैरह करना होता है, ठीक है. Once it is done, everything is fine. I've uploaded, पैसा आना शुरू हो गया. But I still want to keep a backup of those pictures. कि फ्यूचर में कभी कोई डिलीट हो गया, कोई स्ट्राइक आ गया, किसी ने मेरा चैनल चुरा लिया, राइट, किसी ने यूजर आईडी पासवर्ड, इट हैपेंस अ लॉट, किसी ने ये कर लिया, तो आई शुड हैव बैकअप ऑफ माय डेटा. ना मेरा 1 TB का हार्ड डिस्क जो है वो फुल हो गया है, ठीक है. अब उसके बैकअप के लिए अगर मैं एक और 1 TB का लूंगा तो हाउ मच वुड इट कॉस्ट मी? इट विल कीप ऑन कॉस्टिंग मी, कि वो फुल हो गया, एक और नया लगा लिया, बैकअप के लिए भी एसटीडी ले लिया. सो फॉर बैकअप पर्पस आई कैन गो विद HDD. Why? Because वो बैकअप है, उसको मैं आई एम नॉट गोइंग टू यूज इट वेरी फ्रिक्वेंटली. It is not that critical. It is critical, obviously, but I already have one copy of that, right? It is just a backup. I already have an original copy of that, and I'm not going to access that. बस इसको रखना है कहीं पर save करके. So in that case, I would use my standard HDD, hard disk drive. Is it clear, guys? Still here?
Yes.
So now whenever I assign a task, I'll be very specific that I want a machine so and so operating system. I mean इसी को मैं expand करता जाऊंगा guys. ये जो task हम assign करते हैं ना, let me show it to you. Yeah, this is the one. So यहाँ पर for example अब disk वाले इसमें क्या लिखा है? Default, right? Now I'll be changing this. ये सब रहेगा उसमें. And I change this also because I want you to get into habit to read the build sheet. ना, ये इट्स नॉट ऑलवेज 2016 2019. इसको मैं कभी 2022 कर दूंगा, इसको चेंज कर सकता हूँ अवेलेबिलिटी को. सो यू हैव टू रीड इट केयरफुली, थरोली, अच्छे से, ठीक है. एंड उसके बाद नाउ आई विल बी पुटिंग सम डेटा इन दिस डेटा डिस्क वाले सेक्शन में. दैट आई वांट अ सी ड्राइव और एन ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम डिस्क ऑफ 2 TB, and I'll come back and check if you guys have used 2 TB or not. I can say I want default image. It's fine. I want the type of, see, look at these. I would be using these jargons. OS disk size, OS disk type. So size, I want default. Type, I want premium SSD. Delete with VM. जैसे ही आपने VM को delete कर दिया, ये disk delete होना चाहिए या नहीं होना चाहिए. So it's okay. You can check it always. Key management. We are going to do this later. As of now, just keep it default, whatever it is. Compatibility, not touching anything. Main section हमारा यहीं पर है, ठीक है. Now, this is your OS disk. I will also say that with the OS disk, I want 3 data disks. So from where can I add data disk, guys?
Create and attach new disk.
Yes.
Below.
One. Data disk name. If I give you name, you can give the name. If not, whatever name is coming, or you want to give some name, it's up to you. Source type, it's default, whatever default. Size, I will be providing you the size. What are the size I want? So I want a disk one of 16 GB, or let's say 1 TB, fine. Let's 1 TB is too much. First disk I want of 64 GB. Okay. Performance tier, it's okay, leave it. 64 GB का ये चाहिए. Is it going to be a shared disk? No. ये सब क्या है? I will explain it to you later, guys. Delete it with VM? Yes. I hope this is clear. कि जैसे मैं अपना VM delete करूँ, ये अपने आप ही delete हो जाने चाहिए. If I check this box. But normally I won't keep it because I don't want कि data disk पे delete हो जाए. As a safer side, disk को मैं अलग से delete करना चाहूंगा. ठीक है? Yes, someone was asking something.
No.
Yes, guys. Prabhat, are you asking something? You have unmuted yourself. Okay. So share disk, I will explain it later, guys. And this one also, key management. As of now, just learn basic how to add a disk. So this is my disk 1, disk 2. Name up to you. I'm saying पहला वाला 64 GB का बना था, ये वाला 4 GB का ही चाहिए मुझको, enough. Rest everything default. And I'm saying the next disk I want is of 10 GB. Do you see 10 GB here?
No.
So can I have a disk of 10 GB?
No,
there is.
Custom size is available there.
Okay.
Here it is, guys. If it is not available, just put 10 GB here and create a disk. This is done. Then उसके बाद basic जो हमने किया था वही है. Is this clear, guys? Still here? इतना वाला हिस्सा?
Yes.
Okay. Now let's create a machine. And we'll log into that machine and we'll check how it looks. So do you think, guys, the moment I log in, I should see 4 disks and 4 drives?
no.
Then what is pending?
We will have to manage those disks.
Manage
डिस्क
them?
मैनेजमेंट में जा करके उसको रीनेम करना पड़ेगा
Yes. Others may get confused. So yes, well, I just wanted to see who knows. I'm waiting for the machine to get created and I'll show it to you guys. It is nothing, no rocket science. It's simple कि आपने एक नया memory card आपके phone में लगा लिया but नहीं दिख रहा है. What do? You just purchased a memory card from market. You attached it in your phone. Insert तो हो गया, सब कुछ हो गया, but वो दिख नहीं रहा है. What do you do? Is normally what they suggest.
Format.
Yes, simple. बस format करो एक बार उसको ये कर दो, attach कर दो. So that's all we have to do it here. So let's wait for machine to get created. I'll log into the machine and I'll show it to you. But this is different in Linux. This is different in OS. This is different in Windows. And we are not going to learn that. वो हमेशा वैसे भी आपके OS team का काम होगा. आपका काम होगा portal level तक ये करना. You won't, trust me guys, you won't even have the access to their OS level. OS team आपको बोलेगे तो सही कि भाई हमारी मशीन बना दो. But the moment it is created, you won't have access because you're not the operating system team, right? You're cloud team. You work on your cloud. You should not have any issues on my, you should not have any access on my machine. Why should you have access on my OS level? So this is being deployed, guys. Let's wait for 2 minutes. Once this is ready, I'll log into machine. Meanwhile, if you have any questions, you can ask. It is ready. I hope I'll be able to take the remote because the agent is not yet ready. This is my existing machine. If I want to take remote to 2 machines, I'll simply click on RDP again. I don't have to disconnect from my first machine all the time. Let the server come up completely, and then I'll show you the disk management. Whenever you turn on the server, it takes some time. It will start the server manager, etc. So have some patience when you are dealing with servers. First thing, where can I check available disk on this server at OS level?
In file manager.
File Explorer.
File Explorer, File Manager, this PC, anything will do, right? Anything. As of now, I see Files Explorer. So I'll go ahead with File Explorer. And this is we are going to see only once, guys. I don't even expect you to work on OS, and I'm not even assigning you any task to work at OS level. And I won't even log into your OS and check. I'm not going to do that. Okay. This is I'm just showing you, so you should have the actual idea how it works. कि आप लोगों के काम करने का OS team करता क्या है. You will be responsible. You will be questioned. You will be asked question on only at the portal level. Okay. ये temporary disk. What is it, guys? Did we attach this?
No.
No. So it will always come with Azure, right? You should never save any data here. This gets reset every time you shut down the machine. So you should never save data here. Yeah, this is C drive. Now, where are my drives? Where are the rest of the drives? So for that, I have to go to disk management. Either I can go from settings or I can go from command also. And if you want, this can be achieved also using completely command. I mean, यहाँ पर तो command से मैंने ये open कर लिया, right? If you don't want to open that at all, using this part also you can do it. Okay, you can achieve it from here also. So look at this. The moment you did that, यहाँ पर आ गया कि 3 disk are available, which you can format और जिसको आप on कर सकते हो. So click on OK. अब वो MBR GPT वगैरह क्या है? We are not getting into that. This is definitely not OS session. We are not learning OS. Okay, ये लग तो गई but ये अभी तक unallocated है. So यहाँ पर still नहीं दिखने वाली है. So I'll go ahead.
Call from Ismail Chacha identified by Truecaller.
New simple volume. Done. Simple volume. Here it gives me an option that do I want to use the full disk or do you want to use half of it? 4 GB है तो उसमें से मुझको 2 यूज करना है क्या? I can do that also. Remaining 4 को बाद में कर लूंगा. Remaining 2 को मैं बाद में करूंगा. Which drive do I want to assign? Should it be any drive? जो drive already use हो गया वो नहीं दिखेगा इसमें. C drive नहीं दिखने वाला. D is already used नहीं दिखेगा. So any other drive? Yes. Do you want to give any name? ये सब यहाँ पर है. But these are OS options, so I'm not getting into that. ठीक है, look at this 2 GB still unallocated पड़ा हुआ है यहाँ पर. And if you want, you can expand it also. Extend. अब वो 4 GB का हो जाएगा disk. Look at this. Now this is 4 GB. Let me refresh. Okay, I can see it already. Can you guys see? 64 GB disk, right? 10 GB disk and 4 GB disk. Can you guys see it? Yes, guys. Yes.
Yeah.
No, maybe. Now let's say that I have some data here, some music file. Okay, और lyrics वगैरह कुछ लिखा है उसमें. Okay, this is the data I have. Now this is the machine we are working on. By the way, if you want to check the existing disk, etc., you'll always go to settings, click on disk. The question is, guys, ये 4 GB वाला डिस्क था ना वो. आई एम सेइंग कि यार वो उसमें ना मैं बहुत गाने वगैरह सेव करने वाला हूँ. मैंने गलती से 4 GB मांग लिया. I want to extend the disk. Is it possible? What do you think? I want to extend the disk. 4 GB वाला जो disk है ना, can you please make it 8 GB?
Yes, we can resize the disk.
Okay. So when you say resize, ये 10 GB or 64 GB वाला है, this is too much for me. Can you make it 32 GB?
No, no.
Then
We cannot decrease the size.
So is the resize correct word?
No, no, it's
Yes. When you say
not
resize, you can
correct.
increase and decrease. In Azure, guys, you cannot decrease the size of the disk. Okay, remember, you cannot decrease the size of the disk. You can always increase it, but you cannot decrease it. Any disk, be it data disk or your OS disk, you cannot decrease. Thumb rule. Is it clear, guys, to everyone?
Yes.
Yes, guys.
Yeah.
Yes, no, maybe. Clear है? ठीक है, you cannot decrease the size. Let's say if I go for 32, do you see? Reducing the size is not supported in Azure. But if 64 के लिए 128 चला जाओ, it's working. But will I directly see 128 GB over there? Or do I have to do something?
Available over there.
Extended. You remember just now I showed you? So what you guys will do, you will extend from there and you will ask your OS team, okay, disk has been extended from Azure level. Please go ahead and extend it at OS level. So they will extend that. Okay, guys, only 30 seconds are left. We'll take a break of 5 minutes. Something is wrong today. I have to recover every video just to save the recording. So I have to format them. So we'll take a break of 5 minutes. I'll see you guys at 4:30. We'll do the disk resize practical, OS disk, data disk, how to attach disk, how to remove disk, everything about the disk we are going to do today. Okay, see you in 5 minutes.
Okay.